A major Chinese tech firm has been excluded from the two leading software ecosystems globally. No access to Android services or full Windows support, both effectively closed within a few years. Many companies would have struggled to survive. Instead, this firm developed its own operating system independently, now powering hundreds of millions of devices worldwide. Remarkably, the system originally created for phones is now appearing on laptops, in the very market Windows has dominated for decades, with little serious competition. If trends continue, the next major contest in computing may center on desktop and laptop software rather than mobile devices. Before exploring the details, like the video if you enjoy this depth of analysis. These take considerable time and research, and every like encourages more. Subscribe to follow upcoming stories. The tale involves a company severed from dominant tech platforms, a multi-year internal development kept largely private, and a strategy now expanding into unexpected regions. Let us examine how it unfolded. The exclusion that changed everything. In May 2019, the United States added this company, Huawei, to a restricted entities list. Huawei had expanded into phones, infrastructure, and chips used internationally. The move restricted American firms from supplying technology without approval. The impact was immediate and severe. Google severed ties with Google Mobile Services, the backbone for the Play Store, Gmail, Maps, and core Android functionality. Huawei phones outside China remained Android-based technically but lacked essential apps. Users noticed quickly. Overseas sales declined sharply. Simultaneously, restrictions complicated access to Intel and AMD processors essential for Windows laptops. Microsoft relations became uncertain under heightened scrutiny. It was less a total prohibition than a progressive tightening complicating partnerships year by year. This pushed Huawei toward independence in ways few anticipated. Unlike typical business setbacks, negotiation or waiting offered no clear path. The entity list decision was structural, tied to broader geopolitical tensions. Executives recognized this as a lasting shift in global technology dynamics, altering long-term planning. Losing mobile services and facing processor challenges for computers simultaneously would have overwhelmed most firms. Selling phones without core Google tools proved difficult in key markets. Laptops required reliable Windows and component access. Huawei's international phone revenue dropped billions rapidly. This context explains the subsequent decisions, as dependence on external systems created unsustainable risks. The company faced a choice between vulnerability and self-reliance, building from the ground up, rather than viewing the restrictions as insurmountable. Huawei leadership and supporting national policies saw confirmation of long-held concerns. The tech sector relied heavily on foreign operating systems lacking full control. A single foreign decision could disrupt decades of progress. This vulnerability prompted action. 3 months after restrictions began, in August 2019, Huawei introduced HarmonyOS. Initial versions appeared on televisions rather than phones. Early analysis revealed significant Android open-source foundations. Critics labeled it a temporary measure or rebranding. They were largely correct at the time. Yet internal teams understood this as foundational work. The early release served as a stepping stone. The ultimate goal extended far beyond mobile, eventually reaching personal computers long dominated by Windows. This patience stands unusual in technology, where quick launches often seek immediate validation. Huawei allowed initial skepticism, knowing core development required years of focused effort. That long-term perspective explains much of the surprise when later versions emerged. The gap between public perception in 2019 and internal progress was substantial. Few outsiders grasped the scope or timeline. This deliberate approach distinguishes the story from typical announcements. The multi-year transformation. Creating an operating system independently demands years of detailed engineering. Huawei invested roughly 5 years methodically replacing Android-dependent code with in-house solutions. Chinese official channels describe this as achieving technological self-reliance, meaning control over every system layer. The effort culminated in 2024 with HarmonyOS Next. This version eliminated all Android open-source elements. It operates as a distinct platform designed for seamless integration across phones, tablets, laptops, watches, vehicles, and smart devices. This mirrors Apple's ecosystem approach connecting iPhones, Macs, and other products. Huawei pursues similar unity on a larger scale within its domestic market, supported by policy measures. This marks where mobile and computing paths converge. The system built for mobile independence proved adaptable to broader devices. Unifying platforms across categories involves significant complexity. Coordinating smartwatches, vehicle interfaces, and laptops requires shared security, updates, and language. Most companies avoid such integration due to costs versus benefits. Huawei accepted the challenge, prioritizing ownership over simplicity. The transition carried trade-offs. Dropping Android compatibility meant developers needed native versions for the Chinese market or risk exclusion. This substantial requirement reflected commitment to independence rather than ongoing external reliance. Once mobile and tablet foundations stabilized, attention turned to personal computers. The domain Windows has long controlled, challenging the desktop standard. This is where HarmonyOS extends beyond phones to challenge a long-standing computing foundation. Huawei has begun shipping laptops running HarmonyOS alongside desktop-optimized versions, supporting office applications, file management, and peripherals. These practical elements determine whether organizations can transition without disrupting operations. Huawei does not aim for immediate global dominance. The strategy focuses on China's upgrade cycles, where Windows 10 support ended, prompting shifts. Policy encourages domestic alternatives during this transition. Timing aligns with years of preparation. Political considerations about single-source dependence combine with practical needs, creating opportunity. This resembles the mobile experience, where restrictions accelerated self-reliance. The approach targets the world's largest PC market, where Windows dominance faces new alternatives. Success here could sustain an ecosystem independently. This represents a gradual process, contract by contract, beginning with loosening established control in one substantial market. Implications beyond borders. Coverage often overlooks a key expansion. HarmonyOS, built for resilience without foreign dependencies, extends beyond China. Devices reach Southeast Asia, the Middle East, Africa, and Latin America. These regions already feature Huawei infrastructure, where cost sensitivity and autonomy concerns favor alternatives less vulnerable to external decisions. This dynamic should concern established players more than domestic figures. Nations with existing Huawei networks face fewer barriers adopting related software. Technology patterns often favor network builders shaping overlying systems through established trust. Governments observing neighbors' successful implementations may follow. This transforms a national story into one with wider reach, offering protection against similar restrictions. The restrictions intended to limit Huawei instead catalyzed independent development across hardware and software. A phone's success demonstrated capability under pressure. The operating system extended that independence. Combined, they form a model other nations study. It is less about worldwide replacement and more about viable options for those seeking reduced dependence. Once available, such choices rarely remain confined. The broader shift. The Mate 60 demonstrated hardware resilience. HarmonyOS showed software autonomy. Together, they illustrate a comprehensive approach. This goes beyond recovery to a template for technological independence. Other countries facing pressures now see feasibility rather than uncertainty. The question shifts from possibility to choice. Apple faced competition in China not through inferior products, but through a competitor treating restrictions as engineering challenges and resolving them. Microsoft maintains a strong position globally. Yet the same methodical strategy now targets Windows in its largest market, with equivalent support and patience. The outcome may not be total displacement soon, particularly in Western regions. The real impact lies in available alternatives influencing decisions elsewhere. Technology independence appeals to those wary of single-power reliance. Once demonstrated, patterns tend to spread. If you followed this far, you now grasp dynamics often missed in headlines. Like if it connected ideas for you. Subscribe for deeper examinations. What are your thoughts? Could HarmonyOS expand significantly outside China, or will Windows retain dominance? Share below. The next look at underlying hardware developments follows soon.